from 2019 and a very laid back expression of how things are. I'm so slow to myself. I'm like, oh my God, woman, get on with it. All right, so now I'm at my machine. I got my quarter of an inch foot on, or one of them anyway. I'm just going to move down and move that across to quarter of an inch. But I want to sew an eighth of an inch, so, I don't know whether you can see this very well, but on my foot I got a little line splitting this small foot. So I know if I keep my material straight with that line, that's going to give me a quarter of an inch. Either that or you just do it by eye. Going to give me, sorry, an eighth. I keep saying quarter because I'm so used to it. An eighth of an inch, because we want this to be hidden in our seam. And I'm just going to do it the same way as I told you. I nearly went wrong. So we're just sewing down the right hand side. Oh, also, people may ask, oh, what stitch length are you using? Well, on something like this, I want it to hold pretty well. So a 1.8 or a 2, I would suggest. Anyway, here I go. Now, can the camera pick this up? Oop. Can you see my seam? I'm going to get as close as I can and let the camera pick it up. My seam is, ooh, tiddly, tiddly, tiddly. Yeah? Having done that, take my pins out, and you should have something that's just attached by the one side. Then we are going to fold. Let's do it the way you were looking at it. So we've just sewn down this side. Then we're going to take the other corner and bring it back to match this corner. And you see now how we're making the windmill, like we used to have in the garden, a windmill design. And again, this is just a holding stitch. So I'm turning it. I need to make sure my cotton is out of the way. And I'm going to put my needle down right on the edge. Yeah, so this is still loose, but this is the bit, the other point that we're going to pin down now. Just straight stitching. So now, can you see what we've got? Obviously you need to cut that thread. And again, the stitching is very, very, well, mine is less than an eighth, I mean, you know. But if you think of what a quarter is, a quarter would come to there. So that's going to be well within our stitch when we put it together. So let's do another one. Start off, we're going to sew down the outside an eighth of an inch. Take our pin out. Take the loosed corner and bring it back Put it back under the machine. I'm going to hold it with my awl. And to 1/8 of an inch. Down there. See? So we've got that windmill effect. Let's do it again. Take the pin out, take the loose corner, bring it back on itself, put it under the machine, get over your little devil, under the machine, so 1/8 of an inch. Last one for this pinwheel, under the machine, take the pin out. As you can see at the moment it's only attached one side. Take the loose corner, bring it over, under the machine, last one done. So I've now got 4. Let's go back to the table. This is a slightly different view of my table, and I thought I'd do it this way just to show you at the moment, because you may see me reaching and thinking, well, what's she doing? But you see on my wall how I've got loads of stuff, rulers and cutters and what have you, on these darling wonderful hooks that just stick on. So this is where all my, well, not all, but the ones I use most often. So let's come back to this. Now we've sewn these all the same, but naturally being a pinwheel, we don't want them to be all the same. So I'm moving them like this to make the windmill. Just move the camera a bit a minute. To make the windmill. See what I'm saying? Now, like any other 4 patch, oh, and you will see I've put the mediums opposite and the darks opposite. Again, that's just me, that's how I like things balanced. Anyway, but you can see how we did this. Let's screw it up and let's do it again. So, whichever way you want, bring them in, and you're making up your pinwheel. So then, as we do with any 4 patch, this side to this side first off. So, pin it this time because it is a thick material, that end. And again, as you see, I don't put my pins right to the end because I don't want to sew my pins. And exactly the same with the bottom quarter, or the bottom half, I should say. Pin it. Pin it. So that was that side. Did I do that one right? Let me just check. Yes, I did. Okay, so now I've gone this way. I like to work in an order so that I don't forget. We are sewing again down the right hand side. That's all, just down the right hand side. And with this time, we are going to be doing the full 1/4 inch, so that this is, you know, as if you were doing normal piecing. Full 1/4 inch all the way down. So I've just brought those back, sewed these right hand sides. Now, yes, there is quite a thick seam here, and on this occasion, no, I'm going to press it up because I want it to lock in a minute. So sorry, that was the top. This is the bottom. And you see how I got one seam going that way, so I definitely want this seam going that way. Because, as with anything else, I'm not ironing this at the minute. We're now going to do top to bottom. And what's the first thing we pin? Yep, the seam. Now, because this is fairly thick, we need to really make sure that those seams lock. Oh, ow, ow, ow. And you could put a pin in down here, and you could put a pin in down there. Now, turn it round. We're going to sew down the right hand side all the way, 1/4 inch. So here we are. We sewed all the way down there, 1/4 inch. What I did find was when it came to this very thick piece in the middle, I went very slowly, and as it got to the hump, it seemed like it wasn't going to quite do it. So at the back of the machine, I just slightly lifted the presser but to allow it to come over and then let it go again. You may have to do that. It depends on your machine. Now we've opened that up, and there we have our first, and I'm going to press this now, but there we have our first 3D, because this is still 3D, yeah, our first windmill square. Now for the table runner, we want 4 of those. I've done a green one, so my next option is to take 4 more squares, make sure they're the right way up, with the white on white, sure they're the right way up, and do, first off, as you know, we press these into triangles, so now I'm going to do the blue ones. Okay, so I made the 4 pinwheels, and my idea, it's going to be reversible whichever way we do it. My idea is to do a green, blue, pink, and the following green. But obviously we need to stitch them together. Just checking this is alright on the camera. Right, we need to stitch them together. So here are our squares. I didn't iron them in the end. I thought, well, you know what? Not going to iron them because I don't really want to flatten the actual 3D part of it. So, as with everything, over we go. Turn it round so I can see it, get a pin ready. Yep, my seams are facing the opposite way. And I haven't ironed it, I don't know where that's moved. But the first thing we ever do is pin the seams. Keep it nice and straight. Now where my seams are pinned, I am giving a little bit of ease. Look, see? Keeping my, that's why I pin the middle first. Keeping my options open and a little bit of ease to make that square fit. Double check your seam. Double check your seam because that is important. So literally turn it over, sewing down the right hand side. So this is green to blue, sewing down the right hand side. 1/4 inch seam all the way down. I can't stress to you how important keeping an accurate seam is. Because if you haven't got 1/4 inch, this is where things will go horribly wrong. Okay. Fairly good fit on that. Quite happy. Very nice. So the next thing, pink was my choice. Oh, and also, can I just say that while we're doing this, I already have decided that I've got this mat is you can't see that, let me move it over. This blue is the same material as this green, but in a different colourways. So when I did it, I kind of rotated it, so I haven't got the same pattern in the same line. Yeah? Okay. Next thing is, again, you see, this is the same colour-wise as that one. So I'm rotating it, and this is not the same as the first one. So I'm rotating it so that I get that variance of pattern throughout the line. Again, we bring it forward. Yep. Happy, fine with that. Move along. The last one I want to do. See, that's the same as that, colour-wise, but a different colourways. So, what am I going to do this time? Yep, I'm going to go that way. So, exactly the same. Oh, also, by the way, why is it? There we are. Go that way. Go that way. Right. My pins. That sounds a bit of a... why you mention pins. I use glass head fine pins. I'm going to put this right under the camera so you can see. I'm hoping. That's a glass head. See? Fine pin. Let me get something else to show you. Some people use flower head pins or, you know, other pins. That's a different pin. See, it's got a plastic head on it. And I don't know, well, if I put them both together and show you. There. Is that making it... If I put my hand behind it, does that make it any clearer to you? The fine pin I use because the larger pins, the flower head pins and the whatever you like pins, actually leave holes in the fabric. So I use a fine pin, glass head, so that if I accidentally leave it in, it will not melt to the fabric. That's the glass head part of it. But the fine pin, because, they're very sharp, I don't want it to leave holes in my fabric. Right, so there, I just move that under the camera for you, like that. Those are my 4 pinwheels sewn together. Let's forget that end for a moment, start one end. Now remember we've got, I said to you, oh, you want another 11 for the outside. Well, now you have to pick 11, and I am not picking the ones, I don't think, that I've used in the material. I am going to go for lighter ones with a bit of contrast. Can you see? Yeah, you can. Because otherwise I'm going to end up with all light ones left. Oh, that's nice. At the end of the day, you pick what you want, but I do want pink and blue and, you know, green in it. So you are going to have to use, I've all got greens at the moment. Give me a pink one. Find me a pink one. I should have done this off camera. You're going to want 11 of them. Oh, that's nice. That one's quite nice too. Let me see if I got that pink in there. No, that's nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10. See, I have a terrible job choosing. 9, 10. Let me see what I got. 2 blues. 2 grey bits. 2 pinks. Oh gosh. Oh, 3 greens. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. What will I do? What will I do? What will I do? I do like this. 10. And 11. I'm going to use those. That's what I'm going for. 11. And now obviously we're going to cut these in half. Do you remember at the start of all this, I wanted just one extra square, but I did cut a strip 5 by 5. Now, and I'm outing her, Margaret Brennan, my mucker. She has already completed this quilt without any help or instruction from me. Oh yeah, I'm looking for something. Because obviously she's got the skills and the knowledge to know, look at my picture and go, oh, I can do that. So she has. So she says to me, because you'll see now what I'm going to say to you is, let me just cut one in half. Right, so cutting one in half is 2.5 on the out, 1 by 1, 2.5. So I do that. Let's cut one of these in half so you can see what I mean. because we're going to do this with all the bits and bobs that we need. Oh, and while we're at it, as I've got the ruler out, I should have my rotating map for this, but never mind. I'm going to cut this in half, turn it. Quite cut that, which is good because I can turn it. Two and a half. I'm going to cut it the other way. So now I've ended up with from that extra 5-inch square, I've ended up with 2.5-inch squares. Now I'll show you now, because our Margaret Brennan, I keep saying her name, having already completed the quilt, the table runner, what we're going to be doing is sewing these together. Well, you know, I mean, obviously not all the same colour, but sewing these colour by colour. And I will be putting pinks by the green and putting green by the blue, and then putting, oh, I don't know, blue by the pink. I'm going to mix and match so that my outlying half squares are going to give the colour all the way around. I'm not going to put green by green, if you know what I mean. But these bits, when we sew them together, literally 1/4 inch down the end, fold them back, pretend these are different colours. That's going to be, oh, I'm going to just try and hold it. That's going to be a border around the whole thing. Now, if you can imagine this, again, they're going to be all different colours, I'm just using this as an example. So if you can imagine perhaps I need to cut another one in half so that you can really get what I'm saying. So very quickly, I hope this is on camera still. Let's cut another one in half. Pretend. Oh, I should have showed you that. That's the wrong thing to do, but if you can imagine, as we go around the corner, there's going to be a 1/4 difference here. And this is where these quarter stones come in. Now, you could do it with coloured, you know, you could do it from coloured stuff, but Margaret says, oh, I did mine with the background squares from my quarters. And I thought, well, I had this 5-inch strip that I'd already cut, so I thought, well, yeah, I could do that as well. Let's give that a go. So now, when we come, let me think, which way would I actually do it? I do it this way. On my on my shortest end, I would sew, pretend that's a different colour, let's give it a different colour. I would actually sew a strip like that for the end. Would I or wouldn't I? Yes, I would. So that would be my end strip. Different colours, but the quarter stones of the same background fabric. First off though, I would just start, having got a whole strip of these all sewn together, put that over and sew it to this. That's just an overview of what I'm going to do next. So the very next thing we need to do is to cut our now 10 squares in half and decide the order in which we want to sew them together in a long strip